this was a pretty harsh week, I guess. Kind of hard to focus. But I did watch some anime, not a whole lot. I watched all of Himawari Season 1. That one could have been partially responsible for the slower anime watching week. Partially because it's subtitled, I guess, and I was having a lot of trouble just focusing in general. I'm not entirely sure why, but as for the anime itself, it was okay. There was just things about it that felt off, and I'm not quite sure if I can think what those were. It's really little things here and there throughout it. Not any one thing that's obviously bad about it. So I can understand why people would like it, because there's a lot of things in there that can get on your nerves pretty easily, I think. But the only thing about it that I found kind of disappointing was, I guess it didn't answer all the questions, and that's maybe reasonable considering there's a second season coming out, I don't know, sometime later. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but I know it's close enough to be on the radar. I suppose I could have found out before reading this, but oh well. Let's see. Since I didn't get done with that until Sunday, I padded the rest of my time by watching the Rurouni Kenshin things I've been putting off, partially because I got Rurouni Kenshin the movie, and I was not going to watch them until I had all three of the Blu-rays and could watch all of those in that content. I think, which ones was I thinking that about? I don't know, I guess I just noticed watching the motion picture that the picture quality seemed pretty good. I don't know if it had actually been cleaned up though. They're late enough that they could have been using some later stuff in the original video, and I could probably take a peek at Samurai X, the motion picture, which is, you know, Rurouni Kenshin the movie, and just see how the DVD and the Blu-ray version compare, but I haven't done that, so whatever. Content-wise, so the movie was pretty good. I mean, not like super spectacular, but I don't think I was expecting super spectacular. It's more like another story arc from Rurouni Kenshin in one longer movie format. There's not a lot about it that differs from the series other than maybe having higher quality animation. I can't think of much else to say about that. Trust and Betrayal was the next one on the list. I basically watched all three of these things in time release order, broadcast order, I guess. And Trust and Betrayal was next, and that one was actually quite spectacular. I can understand why on some places that's the #1 rated series, and on others it's just like really up there. In a nutshell, it's almost pretty much a backstory to Kenshin's history, I guess. And I kind of had the rough idea that's what it was about anyways, and that what did unfold was the kind of thing overall that unfolded. And knowing that I recognized that, I was almost afraid it would be a bit too predictable or sappy or something like that. But I've always known better, because usually things that are rated high, despite being so obvious, there's generally a reason for that. And in this case, it's because even though you probably have good ideas what happens in Trust and Betrayal based on the cover, I guess, it's really well executed and goes into far more detail than I actually thought it would. I guess because I never thought that it was also a 4-episode OVA, and that reveals a lot. And it was great. Now, the trick is deciding how that ties into Rurouni Kenshin, the series. It could be seen as unrelated based upon reflection, or it could be a prequel for either version almost. To just kind of give you... The reason I'm talking about this is because Reflection was interesting, but kind of weakened by the fact that it seemed to be taking Trust and Betrayal and using that style as a way to overwrite what happened in the Rurouni Kenshin series itself to tell a different sort of ending, which wasn't necessarily bad so much as it wasn't quite what I was expecting from it, I guess. And it's not bad. It's just kind of strange going into it after watching the series. I almost wonder if it'd be better to watch now. It's Reflection is strange in that way. In any case, that was time that I enjoyed spending. And then somehow I filled my time with certain other activities, so that pretty much left me with oh yeah, that's right, because Monday morning I had to do a bunch of anime DVD shopping decisions to make. But, okay, the final thing I watched was Whisper of the Heart, which has been in my pile of Ghibli titles that were piled here that I hadn't watched. Now, My Neighbor Yamada should actually be there as well, but isn't, and I'll get around to watching that. But for now, I watched Whisper of the Heart, and it was a pretty entertaining movie. Let's see... It's kind of hard to remember exactly what happened at the end. Probably because I was pushing myself pretty late in the night finishing that. Yeah, I guess I remembered that, and so it's a pretty touching story. I guess I can't think of a whole lot else to say about it. Yeah, I guess that's it. This anime week was kind of a bit mindless for me, I guess. And I don't know if this anime analysis is particularly good or not, but that's it, and I'll continue on with watching stuff throughout this next week. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to watch after Amagami SS Collection 2.